Now, one person who will be in downtown Detroit cheering on the Lions this weekend is Matt Saltesiak. He is actually the host of the Not the Same Old Lions podcast, and he's joining us live now. Hey, Matt.
Hey, Maya. Thanks for having me.
Of course. How are you feeling the day before all the excitement?
I'm ready to get down there. I've been waiting all week for this, and it's kind of nice that it's a Saturday game instead of a Sunday, so we have one less day to wait.
Absolutely, and you'll be one of the hundreds of thousands of people in downtown Detroit. Have you been down there for a playoff game before?
Yeah, actually, my wife and I went down to the Rams playoff game a year ago, the first playoff game in Detroit in like 35 years. It was a phenomenal experience.
I was there as well, so yes, I can back you up on that. That was definitely one of the best moments of my life. That was amazing. So you obviously host this Lions podcast. You know a lot about the team. What are you expecting we'll see tomorrow?
Oh, man, there's so many possibilities. I mean, the Lions are the #1 seed, so they got the bye. You know how good of a team they are. And they're like one of the biggest favorites this weekend. But you can't discount the quarterback that Washington has in Jayden Daniels. He's going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. He is an electric rookie quarterback. So you can't take any opponent lightly, especially Washington, who's won, I think, the last 5 games on like the final drive of the game.
So what is key to stopping Jayden Daniels?
Well, I think the first thing is you just keep him off the field, right? If the Lions can run the ball, David Montgomery's coming back this week. Jahmyr Gibbs has excelled in the last few weeks beyond what he was doing even earlier in the season, which was already great. So if the Lions can get some long drives together on offense, that'll keep Daniels off the field. That's the first thing. And then if he does move the ball up and down the field with the help of his teammates, is that red zone defense by the Lions. It was stellar against the Vikings in the final week of the season to clinch the division. If those two things show up, the Lions are going to be really difficult to beat this weekend.
So do you have any score predictions?
Oh, score predictions. It could be all over the place. I mean, I'm expecting the Lions offense to put up probably 31 points or so. I think they're that capable. It's kind of a threshold that you've seen them do a lot this season. And, but I'm not going to discount Washington. They could do anything. I think turnovers could be a key in this game as well. I am picking the Lions to win the game. I think most people are. I'm expecting a good game, but I do expect the Lions to win.
It's funny you say 31 because that was also my score prediction. I guessed 31-20. Now, my first thought was, oh my gosh, the Lions are going to put up 50 on this Commanders defense. But I was talking with my co-anchor Mark the other day, and he said, well, they're probably going to want to run the clock out, like you said, keep Jayden Daniels off the field as much as possible. They're going to want to run the ball a lot. So they're probably not going to be scoring 50 points when they're just trying to run the clock out as much as they can and have really slow drives. So I was like, okay, let's go from 50 to they can definitely still put up 31.
Well, the other thing that's going to be interesting is everybody knows how much the Lions go for it on 4th down. But the Commanders are the same way. The Commanders are actually the most successful team in 4th down conversions this year. The Commanders did not punt in that game against Tampa. I mean, there's a chance that these two teams just go for it on 4th down on every drive, and you don't even see a punt. And that could change things too.
So definitely should be a very strong offensive battle tomorrow.
Yes, I expect that a lot. And I'm still hoping that the Lions, with the return of Alex Anzalone and company on defense, we see a little bit more of what we saw against Minnesota there, where the defense is a little bit more dominating than it was a few weeks prior to that.
It was amazing to see how well the defense played with Anzalone back. And obviously he plays a critical role for the linebackers, but he's also a captain. And I think just his presence really motivated that entire defense.
Yeah, I mean, with his presence, it helps everybody align things better because Jack Campbell's really good, but he's not used to having that role where he has to line everybody up.
Right.
And you saw Alex Anzalone able to cover the tight end. I mean, TJ Hawkinson was, really contained, if not shut down during that game. The big element, of course, is Jayden Daniels isn't just a great passing quarterback. He has that ability to run. We saw what happened when Josh Allen came in here last time and what happened with him burning a lot of holes in the Lions defense. But again, there's a few guys that are back, and I think the Lions are going to have a different game plan against Jayden Daniels than maybe they had against Buffalo earlier this season.
Okay, so let's say that the Lions do pull it off and they beat the Commanders. Knock on wood right now. Would you rather see them go up against the Eagles or the Rams next?
Well, here's what I want. I don't care, first off. I'm going to say that. I don't care. And I also think it's be careful who you ask for, because if you get the opponent you want, you don't win the game. That's a bummer.
Yeah.
But My biggest fear, honestly, was that Tampa was going to win in the first round, and Tampa was going to go to Philadelphia. And I thought Philly could handle Tampa quite easily. And I wanted Philly to have to play a tougher opponent in that second round before us. And that's who they get out of the Rams. And so I heard it's going to be about 20 degrees there and snowy maybe. So Matthew Stafford has played in that weather before in Philadelphia, but the rest of the team has not. So I just want to win this game, and I'll be happy whoever we play next week if that happens, because they got to come to Ford Field. And that place, as you know from last year's playoffs, can be a big electric home field advantage.
I know I've never been in a room that loud before. That was insane.
Yeah, you talked about being one of your greatest moments. I've been to a few different sporting events, and I said to my wife, this is only a wild card game, but this is the greatest football game I've ever been to. It was that electric last year. And we're in the playoffs again. I'm expecting a very loud crowd this weekend as well.
Right. And I mean, going back to last year, the fact that it was against Matthew Stafford, that was just picture perfect. Now this year, I wouldn't mind not seeing Matthew Stafford again, personally.
I actually wasn't thrilled that the NFL had us playing the Rams the first game to open the season. I went down there for that Sunday night football game.
Yep.
and I'm like, all right, like, I know we got to play them again, but can we let the storylines go a little bit and not have it be so high stakes? Now, you're right, though. Last year, it was like the Lions, in order to get their first playoff game victory in 35 years, they've got to beat the quarterback who just left a couple years ago. And it was going to hurt that much more if it didn't happen last year. And so it was nice to take care of that, put it to bed. Again, whether it's Matthew Stafford and company or Jalen Hurts and company, I just want to win this week and get to next week.
Exactly.
That'd be a phenomenal opportunity.
Anything else, Matt, you want to mention about your predictions or just like how excited you are about tomorrow's game? Anything like that?
No, I just say, that the Lions fans have been waiting a long time for this. This is a nice potential step forward from last year where we did have to travel on the road. If the Lions win this game, they get to host the NFC Championship game versus traveling halfway across the country over to the West Coast. So go Lions.
Really quick, when was the last time that the Lions have hosted an NFC Championship game? Do you know?
Well, they have not in the Super Bowl era.
Oh, because it would have been the NFC Central Division.
Well, no, even before that, before the Super Bowl era existed, was the last time they went to a championship. They've been to the NFC Championship game last year and then back in '91 against Washington after they beat Dallas. But that was a road game when they played Washington.
Wow. So a historic game tomorrow as well.
Yeah, yep. And that Washington franchise, they have done a 180 in the last 2 years. They've got a new owner, a new coach, a new quarterback. That fan base is just as excited as the Lion fan base got about 2 years ago. So they've got a lot of momentum coming in.
Exciting stuff, Matt. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight on Unscripted. Have so much fun at the game tomorrow.